The Whispering Shadows. It was late October, and the town of Blackwood was preparing for Halloween. The leaves had already turned brittle and orange, rustling beneath the feet of children who played in the fading daylight. But beyond the festivities and carved pumpkins, something far older and more sinister stirred in the shadows. Lucy and her two friends, Ben and Sarah, were on a dare. The local legend told of an abandoned house on the edge of Blackwood, the Hollow. No one had lived there for decades, but every year people claimed to hear whispers coming from within the rotting walls. They were said to be the voices of those who disappeared near the house long ago. "Just 5 minutes inside," Ben said with a nervous laugh, the flashlight in his hand shaking slightly. "We'll go in, take a quick look, and be out before anyone even notices." The old wooden door creaked as they pushed it open. Inside, the air was thick with dust and decay. The floorboards groaned under their feet, and the dim light from their flashlights barely cut through the oppressive darkness. Cobwebs hung from every corner, and the smell of dampness filled their noses. They wandered deeper into the house, their footsteps echoing unnaturally. As they reached the center of the living room, Lucy stopped. "Did you hear that?" she whispered, her eyes wide. Sarah glanced around. "What?" Lucy's heart raced. She swore she heard a faint voice, so quiet it could have been a breeze. It sounded like whispering. Ben laughed nervously, probably the wind coming through the cracks. But then they all heard it, a soft, eerie whisper. It was faint, but unmistakable. The words were unintelligible, like a language they couldn't understand. The sound seemed to come from the walls themselves. Sarah grabbed Lucy's arm. "We should go." As they turned to leave, the front door slammed shut with a deafening bang. The whispers grew louder, more frantic. The walls seemed to breathe, closing in around them. Ben ran to the door, yanking at the handle, but it wouldn't budge. "It's locked," he yelled, panic rising in his voice. The whispers morphed into voices, disjointed and angry. They could hear their names being spoken now, as if whatever was inside the house knew them. Cold fingers of dread crawled up Lucy's spine. Suddenly, Sarah screamed. "Look!" She pointed to a corner of the room. A figure stood there, shrouded in shadow. Its eyes were hollow, and its mouth twisted into a grotesque grin. The figure seemed to ripple and flicker, like a reflection in broken glass. The lights flickered as the figure moved closer, and the whispers became screams. Desperate, incoherent cries echoed around them. Lucy could feel a force pulling at her, tugging her deeper into the house. "Run!" Ben shouted, shoving open a window. The three scrambled through it, their hearts pounding as the whispers followed them into the night. They ran without looking back, stumbling through the woods until they reached the edge of town. Panting, they collapsed onto the ground. "What was that?" Lucy gasped, tears streaming down her face. Ben shook his head. "I don't know, but we're never going back." As they caught their breath, Sarah noticed something. On the back of Lucy's hand, a faint mark had appeared, a series of dark, twisted lines. It looked like writing. The whispers had left their mark, and they knew it wasn't over.